Hey everybody, welcome to the Chill Factor, the podcast that's cooler than your walk-in freezer. I'm your host, Clint Reed, the president of Colpack, and with me is Jay Maiden, our director of technical service. So Jay, what is in your inbox this week?
Heated air vents.
Heated air vents. Well, what is a heated air vent?
So a heated air vent is a small vent in the wall panel or the door section that has a small heater in it that keeps it from freezing shut or open. And the purpose is to equalize the pressure between the kitchen and the inside of the freezer. As a freezer refrigeration is running, it condenses the air molecules. And the larger the refrigeration system and the colder the temperature, the stronger that vacuum is inside the box. And if you don't have a heated air vent, if you open the door and then as soon as you shut the door, it's hard to open that door again. Just like at your house, if you have a chest freezer and you lift up the lid to reach something in there, and as soon as you shut the lid and you forgot something, you try and lift it again, you can't really lift that lid because the vacuum is pulling that lid shut.
Okay, so are they a one size fits all? Like, is there a certain size that goes on everything?
No, and in fact, we've got multiple sizes depending on how large the system is, and I'll show you a couple here. Let me get real quick. Our standard one is 1825, and it's used on small walk-ins. This is what it looks like. And we also have the 1832. Share that picture.
And Jay, these would be installed in the factory, right?
They can be, but they can also be installed in the field.
Okay.
We have had some situations where we had one small 1825 and it wasn't enough to break the vacuum, so we've come back and field installed one of these 1832s to give it more relief. And then the last one we have is a large industrial size heat air vent. It's 1847. These are for like warehouses.
Okay. Now, a customer, they don't have to request these, right? Like we'll put that in based on, how we design walk-ins, and I'm sure most manufacturers do that. So customer doesn't have to request one.
They don't.
It should come with it.
And a lot of times we determine where it needs to go on the box itself, and it may not be a good location. An example is a lot of school systems have a steam kettle directly outside the freezer door. And in the past, we would always put the 1825 in the freezer door section. And that's probably the worst place you can put a heated air vent, is right outside a hot steam kettle that's dumping steam, because it's going to suck all that steam directly into the freezer. And it can cause premature failures. And I got some pictures to show what that might look like. I'll show this real quick. This is a perfect example of what we've seen outside of a school. They're both 1825, but you can see inside the one on the left, I mean, there's all kinds of ice and snow and frost built up. There was so much steam coming through that small heater couldn't keep up, and it froze solid. It shut. And the one on the right actually froze open, and you can see that there's a hollow spot in the center of that 1825. So we have changed our design on schools, and a lot of installers just assume when they see this heated air vent on the door section, that's got to be the freezer door. Well, that's not entirely true, because for our school specs now, we've changed it. We don't put a heated air vent on the freezer door anymore. We actually put it on a partition wall between the cooler and the freezer. And that's so we can have that cooler conditioned air inside the cooler equalizing the vacuum into the freezer, instead of 99% steam and 99-degree temperatures being pulled into that freezer box. And it's made a huge difference.
So Jay, what are some common misdiagnoses in the field?
It happens more than I care to see, but a lot of times, I'm going to share my screen. A technician may see this and they'll think that's a door heater failure. Well, I mean, if you look at the door heater cover, it's clear. There's no ice on the door heater cover, so that door heater's working. And that door heater is not designed to keep this free and clear of snow, frost, and ice. This snow, frost, and ice, because the heated air vent has failed, and every time they shut that door, that vacuum starts creating a strong pull, and it's going to get its equalization from somewhere, and that's the weakest link, usually under the door sweep and around the door gaskets. And in this case, you can see it's pulling air around the door gaskets and creating that. I've got one more I want to show. And they're both very common misdiagnosis. This is similar. And again, you can see the snow and frost is coming right up here in the corner. This heated air vent has failed, and it's trying to equalize the pressure around the door gaskets. It's not a door heater issue, but that's a lot of times the first thing they'll do is replace the door heater. And it's not a door heater issue, it's an actual heated air vent failure.
And so you can go in and just replace the heated air vent.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, this is great information, Jay. We really appreciate you sharing this with us and, allowing us to sit down and have a quick discussion about it. So look forward to next time where we'll continue to talk about just common issues that we see in the field around walk-ins and refrigeration, and we'll hope you tune in. Thanks, Jay.
Sure.